friends, Lorien Witch here with your monthly tarot card reading for your individual sign. This will be a brief snapshot of what's to come for most of you in your sun sign. It's also applicable for your rising sign and your moon sign. So watch those videos if you'd like a fuller picture of what seems to be coming up for you this month. I have picked up on messages the cards wish to give me for those who need to hear it. Now, it doesn't matter if you don't feel that you have a resonance with the messages, that's absolutely fine. Perhaps the messages this month don't really apply to you, or you could in fact look back on the month and actually see that they did have a purpose there. So whatever you feel like in these messages, don't worry. I do hope it does resonate with a fair few of you. It seems like it's going to be a majority for this month. And if you'd like me to look at something more in depth with you, please feel free to get in touch. You can book and purchase a personal reading with me on both my website and through Etsy. As usual, thank you so much for your kind comments, for your sharing, subscribing, and also your emails as well. I've met a lot of you through Facebook and Twitter, in addition to YouTube, and this really makes me happy connecting with you all. So I just wanted to let you know I am so glad that I'm able to connect with you this way, and that a lot of you do feel a resonance with the readings that I do for you. So without further ado, let's have a look at your sign. Hello beautiful friends and Cancerians, thank you very much for listening to your September forecast for 2015. Now for this month I'm using the Crystallis Tarot, and that is by Holly Sierra and Tony Brooks. This is an absolutely beautiful deck. It's been calling on me to use it actually for quite some time, so I'm really looking forward to connecting with this and just looking into the main messages that seem to be coming through for you, and also which seem to be bringing a lot of insight. And as usual, we have the Earth Oracle Magic deck just to give you the overall theme card for the month. To be honest, the overall theme does actually sum it up very nicely. It is all about perspective, and actually I was quite impressed when I was overturning these cards. It's a lot of introspection, it's a lot of gaining insight as to what is coming up for you, as well as how you can change your future. So whereas in the past, or you may have felt like you were a bit stuck in the mud or weren't able to really control some elements of your future, this month you really will be able to take the bull by the horn, so to speak, and push forwards in an idea or something of the sort that you really want to get the message across with, or something that you want to experience. This is the perfect time to move on and really focus as to what you want to bring into your life. Now we start with the Eight of Scrolls in the first week, and this is very much about understanding what's going on around you. Now you may actually find that some things are an illusion, some things are real, but I feel like, looking into a crystal ball will only do so much. As much as I believe in intuition and projection and looking into what is coming up for the future, you have to look at what else around you is actually leading you along a merry dance. And the more that you understand some people aren't being genuine, and the more that you see some people really don't believe what they're saying to you, the more you'll be able to take one choice and one person out of your life. It's about finding the golden thread in maybe a yarn ball. I believe that there will be a distinct feeling that something is there. You just have to kind of strip away the outside elements to actually find what's within it here. And this is supported by the Six of Mirrors. This is all about memories. So in the second week you may be called out to look back and reflect, different times, different things that you've been through, for better or worse, energy patterns that are affecting you now, and maybe even mould your future based on, unseen activities or the balance and harmony that has actually brought you to this point in your life. For instance, I do see quite a lot of building. It's kind of like you're searching for the material on which to base the next stage of your life. And in the second week, it does seem like somebody from the past or a message from the past will come forwards and be able to show you just exactly the potential that you can bring forwards. The history of yourself, the belief in yourself is going to be at a high here. And this is also reflected with Herne the Hunter. Now this is normally the Chariot, as you can see in the traditional tarot, and he actually represents just as much control as the Chariot does. This is focus, this is divine assistance, and I feel like he is directing you. It's an affirmative response, really, from any query that you've thought about, and whatever questions that you come across within the first few weeks of September. This is kind of the nod that you may need, the permission that you may need from both your head and your heart and any other external factors to go forwards, because this as well, I believe, is the week, or kind of the crossing weeks, where you look back on the last 2 years of Saturn looking, that was in Scorpio. So, you may have had a bit of introspection there. You look back on that as Saturn now moves into a different sign of Sagittarius, and this is where it's all guns blazing and you go, go, go. And this is really going to, I believe, change several areas for you, because it's almost like the microscope is moving. The microscope has moved from one area of your life, so that is now free, and it's moving onto a different area of your life, and you may feel like the balance is changing, but you will be able to maneuver with that and help yourself with those various changes. Now the poet here is the King of Scrolls, also known as the King of Swords. This is logic, this is intellectual, typical for the sign of Sagittarius, to be honest, and I feel like the poet represents the fluidity of your subconscious. It's almost like automatic writing. You start writing something down and you may actually get into such a flow that your intuition starts writing things you never even realised you felt or knew. And I believe that that is going to be, an evolved, emotionally balanced sense of self. It's important to establish, I believe as well, your own sense of order around you, because this is where you're going to be able to attract people who share your views, who really kind of, your vibe attracts your tribe, and that's going to be drawing yourself in here. But it all depends on what you figured out throughout the first few weeks of September. So getting rid of the people who didn't meet up to the standards you needed, who weren't being genuine, who were just being downright rude, or the energy vampires that occasionally come through. And I do feel that the Milky Way card here with the perspective, that really does bring up a lot of interesting notions, where we are just a speck in a galaxy. We're kind of like space sand if you compare it to the grander scheme of things. We are a speck of sand on a beach, and it's all about figuring out what you, as an individual speck of sand, are going to make of your time on this beach. Are you going to stay with in the same area, or are you going to go with the tide and find somewhere new? Are you going to allow yourself to settle and be trodden on by various people, or sat on by various people, if you want to take the analogy really seriously? I do feel though that you are going to get more of a sense of where you are going, where you need to be, and also what is possible for you. Because this, my dear Cancerians, is not going to be easy, but it's also going to be immensely rewarding. And yours has actually been the easiest reading for me to do so far for September, because it's almost like it's direct, it's controlled, it knows what it wants to say to you, and you were going to have to trust your instincts and kind of be military in a few various areas. So yeah, it's going to be quite fun. It's going to be quite daunting, but I feel it's going to be worth it as well. If you have any questions throughout September, or about anything else in general, do get in touch with me on the email below. I can do a personal reading for you, or if you want to have a look at the methods of readings that I do, just purchase from there, and then I'll be in touch straight away. If you'd like to support me on Patreon for doing these free readings for you, it would be greatly appreciated by myself. It would help a lot with the cost of making the videos, but even subscribing and commenting about how you're doing, and if you get in touch with the messages, that is enough for me. Any help goes a long way. Any support is incredibly appreciated. And my dear Cancerians, I do wish you the best of luck in September. Let's all survive this Saturn change together, and I look forward to reading for you in October.